The next thing we'll be looking into in custom theme development from scratch is creating a footer for our pages. Let's go ahead and jump into our code and make this happen. We're going to go ahead and we're going to create a file inside of the parts folder. This will be called footer.html. Once we have the footer.html file created, we're going to start off similar to how we did before. We'll start off by making a comment block. We're going to use wp:/group. And then in curly braces, we're going to assign the tag name, use colon, and in quotes, we'll write footer. Then we'll go ahead and close out the comment block. And at this point, we can close out our WP group. So I'll just go ahead and create that real quickly. So this is very similar to what we did in our header.html. We started off with the same type of formatting. We used WP group, then we assigned the tag name. In this case, we were doing header, but now we will be working with our footer. Inside of the comment blocks, I'm going to put the rest of the code, and I will go ahead and make a footer tag. I'll assign a class to the footer tag of wp-block group, and I'm just going to give it a class of main footer in case I want to style this with my own custom CSS. Inside the footer tag, we're going to make a WP paragraph. We'll make a closing WP paragraph tag as well, and then we can put whatever it is that we want to place inside of our footer. So for this example, I'm simply going to make a paragraph. I'll create a copyright symbol, and then I'm going to go ahead and print the title for my website. We will use the opening comment code, and then we're going to use our wp:/site-title. This will pull in whatever the site title is for our website. And then I'm going to close this site title tag out. And at this point, we will go ahead and put the date. So I can just write 2025 for the year. And that's pretty much all I need to do here. So I can save this. We will then need to go into our index.html file, and we're going to need to use something similar to what we have here, where we load in the footer part. So I'll just do this at the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and specify WP template-part, and the slug for this is going to be footer. If we save our file right here and go back into WordPress, and if we refresh the front end part of our page, you can see that we do get the footer. Now at this point, it is not styled very well. It's pretty darn ugly, but you can see that we do have a footer with a class of main footer. Inside, we have our paragraph, and then we have this H1. This is our WP block site title, and then we have our 2025. So clearly we don't want things to be aligned in this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to modify this code a little bit and kind of doll up this area. Building upon what we have, I'll go into my footer file. Some of this stuff is going to remain the same, but we are going to augment some of these things. So inside my first line of code, WP group is the WordPress block comment that tells the block editor that this is a group block. The group block is a container that's used to group other blocks together. Then we have our footer tag with a class of WP block group and also main footer. This is the actual rendered HTML for the block. Footer, of course, is going to indicate that this is the footer section of our website. Let's add some additional attributes to these items before we move on so that our page can be styled. So in addition to the WP block group and main footer, I'm going to add a align full class. This should allow the footer to stretch the entire width. And what we'll do is we'll place our logo for our website as well as the tagline on the left, and then we'll put the copyright on the right. So I'm going to change what I have right here. Instead of making the WP paragraph, we're going to go ahead and change this item. So I'm going to use a container. So we'll go ahead and augment this a little bit. We're going to change this out to be a container that has a maximum width of 1200. So ultimately, I would like my footer to span the entire width of the page, but I want to restrict the content from getting too wide. So what we're going to do is inside our footer, we'll go ahead and we'll create a div. This is going to have a class of WP block group. In addition to the class, I'm going to force this to have an embedded style. So I'm going to set my style, and we'll go ahead and specify that we want the maximum width to be 1200 pixels. And then we're going to go ahead and set our margin left and margin right to auto. And let's do a display of flex. We'll use justify content, and let's set this to space between. And then I'm finally going to do a flex wrap of wrap. I'll close the angle bracket, and then I have my closing div tag. And inside this div, we're going to create the two columns. So these two columns are also going to be divs. I'll go ahead and create those now. I'll assign a class of WP block group. And once again, I'm just going to make embedded styles. The style is going to be equal to flex basis of 50%. This will ensure that this item takes up half of the available space. We'll close that div, and then inside this div, I'm going to use the WordPress block comments that are going to generate our site logo. So we'll do that by using WP:site-logo. And because at this point I am creating JSON, I am going to open up my curly braces. And inside the curly braces, we're going to specify that the width of the logo be assigned to 80 pixels. So we'll just write 80 because this is a straight numeric value. I don't need to quote it. And then I'm going to go ahead and self-close this comment block like so. We'll do something similar, but we're just going to load the site tagline. So once again, I'm going to open the comment. We'll use WP site-tagline, and this just needs to self-close. We're not going to add any properties here. So this is basically my left column. Now I'm going to create my right column. Once again, I'm going to open another div. This also is going to have a class of WP block group. I'll just copy the style with a flex basis of 50%. I'm going to add one more declaration. I'm going to use align self, and we're going to tell this to be flex end. I'll show you what this does when we get into our code. And then inside of this block, we are going to grab this paragraph that we made. I'll cut it, and we'll place that inside of this block. Let me just indent this a little bit so it's easier for us to read. Instead of hard coding the date as we had right here, I'm going to get rid of this section right here. We'll have the copyright symbol, and then we're going to go ahead and use a little bit of JavaScript where we get the full year. So every year this will automatically update. We don't have to manually go in and update that content. It is worth mentioning that WordPress doesn't love this, probably going to bark at us a little bit. So if that really bothers you, you can hard code this in, but it seems to work fine, so I'm just going to roll with it. Once I have this saved, I can come back to my page, and if we refresh our page, you can see that now our footer looks a little bit different. So if we come down here and highlight this, you can see that the whole footer is selected. We have our tagline on the left and the text over here on the right. We're going to need to align this, and it does look like we are not getting our site logo, so let's just look into that. I actually think I just need a space right there, so let me put that space in there, and let's save this. There we go. There's our logo. So now we're going to create a little bit of CSS so that this looks much better. I'm going to go back to my code editor. I'll go into my style.css section, and I'm going to just make a comment that this is for the footer. I'm going to target our footer.main footer which of course is the class name that we assigned to our footer element. We are going to create a kind of a reverse of a gradient background fill like we did up here in our header. So I'll go ahead and do that next. We'll specify background image, and then I'm just going to create a gradient image. I am going to specify that I want my text color to be white. And let's go ahead and add some padding. We'll add padding of 2 rem to the top and the bottom and 1 rem for the right and the left. Let's save this, and if we come back here and refresh, you can now see that we have this gradient. And then what I want to do here is, I like how this is in 2 columns, but I want the copyright to be over here on the right. So if we go ahead and target this element, this is in a side of a div called WP block group. Just to make things a little bit easier, let's go into our footer.html. And we're going to go ahead and give this an additional class. So I'm just going to call this copyright. We'll save that. And now that we have that copyright class, I can come into styles and I can make a new rule. We'll use .main footer, and then we're going to do space .copyright. And we're just going to use a text align of right. If we give that a save and jump into our front end portion of WordPress, you can see that now that's on the right. And if my page is really wide, the background color is going to persist and be as wide as the page can possibly be. But you can see that the content is not going to extend all the way to the far left and right edges. It's going to stay constrained. And that is a result of the inline styles that we added to footer, where we went ahead and set our max width to be 1200 pixels. It is completely fine to add these styles to our style file, or we could hard code everything into the footer.html. It's just personal preference, whatever you find to be a little bit easier. I did want to show you both methods so that you were aware that it is possible to apply the inline styles, or we could go ahead and apply them as straight CSS styles. The final thing that I want to show you is this looks great in the front end. If we go to the back end and go to Appearance, Editor, you will see if we go to Patterns and go to our template parts, we now have our footer. It is worth mentioning that if you click on the footer, you're going to get this attempt recovery. And if you go ahead and click attempt recovery, it is going to throw off the formatting of your document. So if we click attempt recovery, just to show you what happens, you can see it looks a little bit better, but still not quite there. WordPress does not like having that script file inside of our footer.html. If I save my file at this point and go and refresh in the front end, you can see that my footer is now kind of wonky. So what I would need to do is go back to the all template parts, go to my footer, and I'm just going to need to reset this. It will clear out the customizations. And once again, you are going to get this warning, but at this point, it is going to inherit the styles that we applied. So I just wanted to draw your attention to this, and I want you to know that if you do this, it may make the front end part of your website not render in the way that you're anticipating it to be. If this is something that really bugs you, then you can go ahead and hard code in the date instead of having it dynamically pull in. The downside to that is obviously every year you're going to have to go touch this file and update it. If we use the script file, it will automatically pull the full year. So you don't have to do anything. It's just going to update that on the fly. But as you can see, we now have a custom footer. The one other thing that I would like to do on my footer is if I go to a page that doesn't have very much content, you can see that the footer is going to slide up. I want to keep it at the bottom of the page no matter what. So the final thing I will do is go back into my CSS. We already have a selector for footer main footer. I'm going to go ahead and add a position of fixed, And we're going to just specify that the bottom is set to 0. If I save my page and we come back to the front end and refresh a page where we don't have that much content, you can see that the footer is going to be pushed to the bottom of the page. And that will be true on any page, including the page where we do have more content. So now you know how you can add your own custom footer to your website, and obviously you could make modifications and insert whatever content you want to include down here in the footer portion of the website.